Welcome everybody to a second channel update for today. This has to do with the new Garamantian free loadable content that has come today, but as you might know, it was also followed with quite a huge update on Total War Attila and its different campaigns, especially the Last Roman and Age of Charlemagne. And let's first of all take a look at this new free faction, the Garamantians. If you want to see them in action, I can point at a very skilled YouTuber. His name is Turumba TV. You can find him. He's one of my friends. You can find him in my associates and legendary list to the right on my YouTube channel. Go and see his new Garamantian campaign. He started one with a mod some months back, which he had to stop as it got incompatible with a patch update for Total War Attila. So now he has got the chance to play the Garamantians as he wanted it. So go and check out his campaign. It might be extremely interesting. But here they are, the Garamantians, faction leader Akinidad. I don't know if you got that. If you have already seen this campaign, you will know that some of the names are a bit hard to pronounce yet. But yeah, you will find out. Religion, Semitic, paganism. The Garamantians have lived in North Africa for over 1,000 years, and those civilizations rise and fall, they remain indomitable and strong. Since the rise of the Roman Empire, Garamantian raids across its territory have brought swift retribution, with border forts springing up throughout the 3rd century AD to repel incursions. Yet, Roman-Garamantian relations were not always acrimonious. Both nations had resources the other needed, and so the Romans, ever pragmatic, allowed mutually beneficial trade agreements to be reached. Now, however, the Garamantians occupy a unique position from the North African strongholds. They can attack the now troubled Romans, forging their own path in the west, or strike out into the seas to explore the unknown. The world is changing, yet the Garamantians are poised to seize greatness no matter what. Cultural trade, desert kingdoms, sun scorch, +2 sanitation. All regions, attrition, immune to desert attrition or limes, scorch of the deserts, +15 melee attack during desert battles, which makes them a bit unnice to meet. And then they got fractured faith as well, increased public order penalty for religious differences between new religions, faction-wide. Yep, then they got desert power, irrigation, +1 fertility bonus in all provinces, -50% conversion time of the main building chain, nice. Morale +15 when in own or allied territory. So +15 and yeah, morale and +15 melee attack if they fight a battle in the desert. they sound a bit scary to me. Okay. Yeah, you can see their position here. You already know it, I think, from the grand campaign. But I wanted to show you this because they will now take part in my campaigns with the new units, etc., and their new traits. So it might make a small difference in some of my campaigns with this new this new version of the Garamantians, you could say. And following them, there's a huge update, I would say. I can mention some things. I will leave a link for the total update. It's 6 pages or so, or 5-6 pages. In general, there's a bug that should be fixed, causing units in a set stance, for example spear wall, to drop their stance when engaging with the enemy. The affected units would engage the enemy without remaining information and move away from their stationary location set by the player, ending up in a different location position to where the player put them. Yes, I tried that yesterday in my Burgundian campaign, and it's so annoying when it does that, and you will definitely there's a big chance you will lose a defensive battle in a city due to that from time to time. Yeah, there are SLI bug fixes. There's an issue where the campaign AI got fixated on chasing a human horde around the map. It should be fixed. Sounds interesting. Some fixes for graphical corruption on ocean surfaces. Some crashes, etc., etc. Some multiplayer problems. So that sounds good if they have been fixed. There are some campaign fixes for all campaigns. When units are being recruited in a siege settlement, they will continue recruiting, but not become available until the siege is lifted. Sounds good. Fixed a bug where campaign AI control armies would raid their own desolate region. I've seen that very, very often. Yeah, interesting. And there's also fixes for a bug when 2 armies under campaign AI control would break a siege and re-siege the same settlement on the same turn. Campaign AI armies should be less likely to leave a settlement unprotected when able to garrison them and have sufficient forces to protect them. There are also some things for the Grand Campaign. Eastern and Western Roman empires are now prevented from becoming puppets or vassal states right at the start of the Grand Campaign. Yes, I've seen some very different, was it Last Australian Gamer and also Trumba TV that certainly saw that. Yeah, I think it was the Garamantians actually that had the Western Roman Empire as a puppet state from almost the beginning of the Grand Campaign, and I think it was due to a food problem. The Western Roman Empire had a food deficit and thought they might solve that by becoming a puppet state of the Garamantians. So that gave quite another approach to the whole scene as it was back there in those days. Quite unrealistic, I would say, but fun. Okay, the Parthian shot ability has been added to Alani horse archers, grey hairs, and cataphract archers. There's some food penalties that has been removed from Roman military buildings in the Grand Campaign, and they have been replaced with maintenance cost penalties instead. I think that is a pretty good idea. They have reduced base siege duration time in Grand Campaign. That sounds good. In the last Roman campaign, it is no longer possible for the Roman expedition in the last Roman campaign to break military alliance with the Roman Empire if call to arms is rejected, and some other things. Age of Charlemagne, here's a lot of things. A big improvement, they say, to the visual diversity of units in Age of Charlemagne. Sounds good. New faction ability for the Danes. I would like to have had that one. After a turn at sea, the naval transports get a 200% movement bonus, which brings the movement in line with that of navies. Yes, then I could have gone to England much faster. But there are a lot of different things, difficulty changes, rebalance the AI in Age of Charlemagne campaigns to behave a bit differently with different difficulty levels. such as AI aggression scaling differently with different difficulty levels. That sounds good. I think it was Oivio that mentioned that the AI was a bit too easy on Legendary, to say the least. Rebalance the effects of war decorations, etc., etc., etc. Some war wariness changes. It now scales with difficulties harder on hard difficulties and easier on easy difficulties. That sounds good, I think. There should be some brand new event chain when playing as Charlemagne, surrounding the verdict at Verden. Some changes to the Restless Warriors event chain, and a lot of other stuff. Dane's Kingdom Formation event is now based on stacking a number of settlements rather than Imperium. Cordoba Kingdom Formation event is now based on attaining a high percentage of Islam in your lands rather than Imperium. Westphalian Verdict at Verden event chain now has more influential effects for all outcomes. And then there are campaign changes, more names to the Muslim, Spanish, Lombard, Frankish, Danish name groups to reduce instances of repeating names. Yes, I've seen that. A lot of armies had the same names. Increased public order penalties from tax levels in Age of Charlemagne campaigns. Interesting. Maximum corruption value reduced, and quite a lot of other stuff. Reduced income bonus from higher tier treasury buildings, Charlemagne. What more can I say? Anything about? Go have a look at it yourself. And then there are also quite a list of bug fixes all over the Charlemagne campaign map, as far as I can see. Removed refill ammo ability from missile ships, for example, but increased unit space ammo to compensate for this change. And there's a land update changes. That also sounds pretty interesting. So some increased morale, increased health, and for a large amount of tribesmen sounds good. So go dig it and have a look at the update. Then finally I will do this. I know that at least half the community hates DLCs and hate to pay for them and think they are so expensive that it's ridiculous, etc. And the other half of the community kind of they are either neutral or really like the DLCs. I usually give my subscribers and viewers a chance to have a look themselves. Just a short one, so I will just go through them. We got now this Slav tab here with 3 factions. The Sclavinians, faction leader Vladislav, religion Slavic paganism. The Sclavinians are an aggressive Slavic people who descend from the east, taking advantage of the thinly spread imperial armies and raiding Thrace and Illyricum, intent on finding both loot and a place to settle. Inevitably, this has drawn the ire of the beleaguered, but nevertheless still proud and mighty Roman Empire. Now, as the 4th century AD ebbs away, the 5th promises to be a time of unending challenges. Yet the Sclavinians are possessed of a fierce and irresistible temperament, showing time and time again that they are capable of mighty feats and that the future will be no different. I actually know a proud Slav or free, and we got the Lone Patrol, we got Warheel, and we got King of Pergamon, and I think King of Pergamon made a vote, and his subscribers voted for him to play the Sclavinians. He is doing that on Legendary, and you can go and see his first episode is released, maybe already the second, I don't know. So go and have a look at him. He's a brilliant new YouTuber. Cultural trait, hardy warriors. Construction cost -50 for main settlement buildings. Attrition immune to snow attrition, and no colonization cost faction wide. Faction trait, horned is the hunter. Formidable fighters from the great European plain. Wu betide any who try to raid the territory. Morale, melee defense, melee attack +10, and melee damage +20% when fighting nomadic factions, all forces. Extra income for every enemy unit destroyed. Public order +5 from military presence. Sounds good. Initial challenge should be easy, it says, but they might have quite a lot of fun with the Huns. Fun with the Huns. Okay, here we go to the Antians. Cool guy here. Yep, here the challenge should be very hard. Faction leader Tripimir. They also have Slavic paganism, often considered to be an offshoot of the Venetians. The Antians have nevertheless fought with savage fury, forging both independence and an identity of their own. Ironically, they were saved from Gothic subjugation by the advancing Huns, who forced the Goths westward before they were able to establish total dominance over the Slavs. Quite interesting. The dawning of the 5th century AD promises nothing but further chaos. The Huns continue to maraud while the Roman Empire braces against them, desperately hoping to hold back the tide any way they can. Amidst this, the Antians stand firm, determined to prove themselves strong, to emerge a unified Slavic power. Good. And they also got hardy warriors, faction trait, liberty for wolves, morale, melee defense, melee attack +20, and melee damage +20% when fighting in a forest, all forest forces, and morale, melee defense, etc. goes down when fighting on grassland or open fields. Quite an interesting trait, I think. And morale, melee defense, melee attack +20, and melee damage +20% when fighting a river battle, all forces. Yeah, sounds interesting. Yep, there are more. They can build a wonder, just like in Age of Empire, as far as I have understood, and that should that's a new winning condition, as far as I know, for these 3 Slavic factions. So it sounds interesting to find out more of that. I'm not going to go so deeply into it, but here you got a Weimar here, and the Antians. Finally, the Venetians. Faction leader Daco. Initial challenge normal. Slavic paganism. The true origins of the Venetians are shrouded in confusion. The Romans incorrectly classifying them as a Germanic people with typically Roman snobbish arrogance. Ptolemy described their squalid living conditions and their repulsive appearance due to intermarriage with other ethnic groups. Despite these scathing remarks, the Venetians have endured, becoming so populous that they have branched into 2 separate groups. Eastern Roman scholars make specific mention of the Venetians as the fathers of many of the other Slavic peoples. Although considered a guiding light in the gloom of the upcoming 5th century AD, the path ahead will not be easy. Huns, Romans and barbarians all encroach on Venetian territory. Yeah, I guess so. Yet, if they can hold the nerve and never cower to the mighty or the desperate, they may rise to inherit the world beyond. Hardy warriors again as a cultural trait, but their faction trait, their unique faction trait, is in touch with the ground. Gifted vast expanses of land by the gods of earth and sky, and highly adept at working the soil. Veneti farms do not have any negative effects, squalor or public order. Income +100% from farms, nice, and income -50% from commerce, industry and culture. Maybe not so nice, but cool looking guy here, and I just want to show you, also because these 3 factions will now more or less be present in my own campaigns with these new features. So at least I know the Sclavenians and the Venetians are still alive in my Burgundian campaign. I'm allied with both of them, military allied, yes, I think so, and they might now play in a different way. I don't know. It would be interesting to see. I'm having huge troubles in my Burgundian campaign because of the Visigoth, the Sassanid martyrs and the Huns and the Picts now. So, but maybe there will be something that will change up here. I could hope they will try to go more to war with the Huns, for example. That would help me immensely if they did. I'm tired of those 15 Hunnic armies everywhere, or what it is. So yeah, I just wanted to share this with you. This is not a provocation of a kind, showing the hated DLC content from CA Sega once more, but as a YouTuber I buy them, and normally I get a lot of time. I spend a lot of time playing the DLC factions little by little, and I usually like them, to be honest, but I know a lot of you hate them, so I thought they should be free as they are already in the game. But here you could see some of it, and I show them also because they will take part in my campaigns in a new way, I think. So see you everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment, and have a nice day. Goodbye.